Coming to you live from Pasadena, Monologue! And now, your lovable host, Donald Briggs!
Thank you and welcome. I'm your host, Donald Briggs, and this is Monologue, a competition for aspiring actors. Now, here to judge the competition tonight are three seasoned industry professionals. He's one of the most sought-after acting coaches to the stars and has appeared on CBS's Without a Trace. Please welcome Barry Peppett. She is an extremely talented actress who has on her resume the long and running soap opera One Life to Live and Law and Order CI. Please welcome McCall Sennett. He is a versatile actor and comedian and has worked with Spike Lee and has on his resume the Paramount film Drumline. Everybody give it up for Kevin John. Without further ado, I'm going to bring out the first contestant. She is going to be doing a monologue titled Foreclosed, and her name is Suzanne Breitenbach. Everybody please welcome Suzanne.
Henry. Hey man, just want to touch base on the Fowler situation. Big guy says hold off on foreclosure, at least until after the funeral. We don't need videos all over the web showing her grieving family being put out on the street. You know the funeral's this weekend, right? The way she did it, they'll have to go with a closed casket. You can bet the papers will splash that all over the front page with foreclosed stamped across it. Tacky, huh? But you know journalists. Look, I sent you a list of names. I need you to vet it for me. See who else might take a shotgun shortcut out of debt. My girls over here can't take another goodbye cruel world fax. It really puts morale in the toilet, okay? Be a pal, would you? And get the list back to me pronto. We don't need people thinking this is a license to default. Okay, guy? See ya.
Thank you, Suzanne.
Thank you.
Let's find out what the judges thought about that performance, all right? Let's go ahead with Barry.
Suzanne, good work.
Thank you.
A couple things. Coming in, I really saw Henry, and I thought it was great. And through you, I have to be able to see him. And there were times during the piece that I sort of lost that. I sort of lost what he was saying. I have to know what Henry is saying, or what the person on the other side of this phone is saying through you. And I thought that some of the transitions didn't quite work, so I didn't get, the full substance of the piece. I also think just be careful that of two things, that you don't look down so much because we lose that beautiful face of yours. And secondly, that you're not just playing the attitude of the girl, but really living the life of the girl. But all in all, I thought you did a good job.
Thank you very much.
Well, I have to disagree with Barry a little bit. I actually thought your work was really natural and honest. I really felt like you were listening to what Henry had to say, and I really believed the moments of silence in between. I have to say you're really lovely, and it's you did a good job of playing someone quite nasty. So so great work with that, and you really harnessed the power of this kind of nasty woman. So
Thank you very much.
yeah, good work.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Suzanne,
Yes.
I don't think you're as nasty as she made you out to be. I think you're.
You'd be surprised. No.
Then that's another show. That's a monologue, the uncut version. But at any rate, I kind of agree with things that both of them said. I think your connection to that was very good. I think that was a great selection for you. you had this very interesting, like, seductive undertone that I think kind of enhanced the role. Now, the only thing that I would tell you to do is just be wary of, you have a lot of props there, and there are a few times when I was afraid you were going to get lost in them. You had brought your pen up to your mouth or something, and, I didn't want the pen to accidentally go in your mouth or, while you're, obviously you'll become a distraction. Right. So I would just say be cautious of using all those props because sometimes it can be a distraction, but overall, I think you did a really good job, and you played the heck out of that snarky, non-nasty, but malicious kind of...
Businesswoman.
Yes.
Basically. Thank you. Yes.
Malicious isn't nasty.
Thank you very much.
Malicious is professionally nasty, all right? It's not as,
It's business.
Yeah, right?
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Suzanne. All right, we're going to bring out our next contestant. This is a self-written monologue titled I Quit. Please welcome Chrissy Carpenter.
Hi, I'm Joe. Today is a really hard day for me, and I wanted to share it with you all. I know things are going to be tough at first, but I'm a strong person, and I can do it. I can. So here's the big news, everybody. I'm quitting Facebook. Okay, that felt really good to say. I see what some of you are thinking. Quit Facebook? How can somebody quit Facebook? I know. I thought the same thing too. But then I thought, do I seriously need to be checking every 3 minutes how many likes that picture of me in a martini costume is getting? No, I don't. Right? Do you think it's gotten 25 by now? Because, you know what? That was the old me. The new me doesn't care. In fact, I'm gonna be super productive going forward. I'm gonna go to the beach. I've actually been wanting to do that ever since I recorded that video of me singing I Want It That Way by the Backstreet Boys, but, well, I couldn't go because I kept getting so many comments, and I had to reply to all of the comments. And we all know it's very dangerous to be on our phones while driving, so before, the beach was out of the question. But now, I can go and I can bring a book, and that was a really good video. I had like 65 comments, but I don't care about that anymore. So I think this is gonna be really good for me. I'm gonna be more well-rounded, and I won't have to endure all of those annoying status updates, even though I love status updates. And I won't get invited to a million silly events because that's so irritating. And I won't follow what Jake is up to. I mean, who cares if he had sushi last night? Who cares if his relationship status changes from single to in a relationship? I don't care about that. So here I go. I'm gonna log on, but to quit, and maybe just check one last time how many comments my video got, but then I'm quitting.
All right, Chrissy, thank you so
Thank
much.
you.
Appreciate it. Let's find out what the judges thought of that
Sure.
performance, okay? Barry.
Well, Chrissy, first of all, let me just say I love the monologue. It's timely,
Oh, thank you.
and it works really well. Did you write this yourself?
I did, yeah.
Good work. It's nice, and I think it's perfect for you.
Oh, thank you.
Now, I thought you did a great job. I think that you can permit yourself to take bigger risks with
Okay.
this, especially in the transitions, because you had these really lovely transitions written in, and you sort of played them, but you didn't go for them. And I want to see you go for them because I think that you have the ability to do that.
Thank you.
Also, the personalization, like you got to the point with Jake, which I loved, and I thought you could have gone much further with that. So my big critique here is to take bigger risks.
Okay.
But I think that ultimately what you did was really nice. I just think you could do much better.
Sure, thank you.
Hi, I think you're adorable, first
Thank
of all.
you.
And I also think it's a great piece for you, and super cute. It's a funny, fun, relevant topic.
Thanks.
I felt like at times, I feel like you know this piece so well now that there at times were perhaps moments where you were almost too slick with it, where it's the moments aren't as fresh maybe as they were, 10 times ago when you were doing it.
Yeah.
So if you can just, allow yourself to maybe just
Discover that again.
Yeah, exactly. Just being more in the moment with it, and not anticipating what you're doing next. Also with Jake, I felt like he's the impetus of why you're really quitting. And so making that a little more important, and maybe the underneath throughout.
Yeah.
So that when we get to that, it's like that's what's really going on.
Right. Okay, cool.
But overall, great work.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, I agree with the both of them. I think this piece is perfect for you.
Thank you.
I can totally see you doing something just like this. Now, my main critique to you is I would have liked to see more levels with it. You were kind of the same way throughout the whole, and I understand, it's one of those upbeat kind of, vibrant, I guess you could say, kind of characters. But I would have just seen a lot more levels, like especially right in between your transitions. Just to bring something new to it, because obviously you know it. Obviously you brought your nice spunky little attitude or whatever to this, and I really enjoyed it. And I think it's something that teenage girls across the world can all relate to, because who doesn't want Jake to approve them? Of course, everyone has that Jake.
Yeah.
But for me, it's Jennifer. But at any rate, I think it was great.
I wouldn't judge either way.
Thank you. Bless your heart. Great job.
Cool. Thank you very much.
Thank you. And our next contestant doing a piece titled Baby Can I Get Some? Please welcome James Mayfield.
Baby, remember the first time I met you, you said you would never sleep with a guy on the first date. I was cool with that. I took you to see the movie, Act Like a Man, Think Like a Woman, and I was cool with that. I took you to see him, Act Like a Man, cool. I was cool with that. And after the movie, I took you straight home. And on the second date, I took you to your favorite restaurant, the Red Lobster. And I got you your favorite meal, the Red Lobster. I bought you some roses, took you to see the Baltimore Orioles, and bought you $100 worth of Baltimore Orioles gear. And when I took you home, I especially made sure I was a gentleman. And I still didn't crack on that. But hold up. Remember you called me last night talking about your ex-boyfriend was stalking you? I called him up. And I met him last night. And he kicked my ass. Because I was protecting you. But hold up. Remember the other day we was window shopping? And you see that beautiful ring? Here it is. Baby, can I get some?
All right, James. Let's find out what the judges thought about that, okay?
James. Let me ask you a couple questions. Have you trained as an actor?
I trained before that.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay, because let me put it to you this way. I think the words became too important to you here, and so we never really got to see who this guy is. It became about the words rather than about the guy. I guarantee you, if you could really see this girl that you're talking to and really know who you're talking to, then we wouldn't have lost the words. Because it would have been about your personality. And I want to see you live the life. I don't want to see these words. Anybody could read these words to me. But what I want is you. And I think you're great. I think you're a really interesting guy. I thought you're a funny guy. And I love what you wrote here. So what I want to do is I want to see you live this moment, and that's what I got lost in. I never really saw you live this moment. I saw you worrying about those words too much.
Yeah, I've definitely been there, you know, when you are just like, you think you know something so well, and then you go up on a line, and it can be kind of terrifying, especially in an environment like this. So, yeah, just going off of that, don't, you know, if you go up on the lines, you know, we don't know you don't know the lines unless you let us know you don't know them, you know, so don't be afraid just to roll with it if you lose it, because you keep that moment going and you'll have us. Also, I wanted to know where, I felt like your girlfriend I wasn't sure exactly where she was in the room. So I wanted to see you more clearly connect with wherever she was, because she kind of drifted into various spots. But I also think you've got great charisma, and yeah, you're very affable and funny, and you know, just keep it up.
Thank you.
Yeah.
James, my man. I got the impression that you were very nervous. And, you know, which is neither here nor there. You know, professionals get nerves as well. But I do believe that, unfortunately, took out a lot of the fun and humor of your performance, because you were so committed to that. Now, I know, obviously, there was a period of time where you forgot what you were doing. Did you write this piece?
Yeah, I wrote it myself.
You
yeah.
created it, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so you could have just kept going, creating, saying whatever it was that was in your head, because you know the objective, right?
Yeah.
You want to get some, you want to score. So, you know, obviously how you get there, you know, you endured a butt whooping and other things as well, but keep that in the back of your head, even if you do forget what the objective is, what you're trying to get through at the end of the scene. And you know, I think you have great charisma. I think you have great energy, but I would have just loved to seen you more committed to that character. I would have loved to seen you, because I know that you could do it. You wrote it, you created it. So, and I hope you get some too, because I know that's important.
And the important thing in this is that getting some is life or death. It's not simply, oh, I have to have her. It has to be life or death in order for this piece to work.
Yeah.
Was this, out of curiosity, was this written on a personal experience?
Yeah, kind of from a personal experience, yeah.
It was. And how did that end up for you?
He got some.
Yeah, got some.
You scored. All right. Well, on that note, great job.
James, I was here for the audition, and I thought it was humorous. I think you had it, you nailed it. What do you think happened tonight?
Like you said, I would focus too much on the words and just being me, you know, and that's what it was. Because I was worried about being word for word and make sure I don't miss this word, that word, and just being me. I think that's what it was.
You're too interesting a guy to not let us see you.
Yeah.
You know, that's what we want to see.
Yeah.
Exactly. And since you created this, obviously you could take it, you know, even if you forget it, you already know what's going on.
Right.
That's
The
right.
author's not sitting here. The author's right there. So.
Well, thank you, James. Appreciate it, right?
Yeah, James.
Yeah. Thank you.
And our final contestant for tonight, doing a piece that he wrote titled The Man, please welcome Michael Silvers.
Many years ago, as a 10-year-old boy, I watched as my parents were lowered into the grave. 30 years passed, and I was awakened with a desire to avenge their death. Because you see, Doctor, they were shot in front of me. So the other day, I found myself looking at my mirror and asking myself, what can I do? How can I help? And in finding that answer, I realized I will become the man. I will help those who need help, those who cannot help themselves. Oh, Doc, it was great. I stood on a dumpster looking at our dark city, admiring my cape. And then I heard a woman scream. I saw her be attacked, and I thought, I can help. So as the attacker ran away, I went to work. I chased him down the street, tripped him, and he fell to the ground. And as I stood over him, I said, I am the man. Crime in this city is over, buddy. Now you run along. Tell all your friends about me. Oh, it was great. Watching him run away, scared of me. Scared of me. Boy, it felt good. I look good, too. I have a wonderful cape on. But, Doctor, at that moment, I just knew. I knew my parents would be proud of me. And then I heard another scream. And it was off to work again, fighting crime, tripping up criminals, being the man. Now, Doctor, That was a couple of months ago. Now here I am in your office, and I have to tell you, I'm wondering. I'm looking at your mirror, and I'm asking myself, what have I done? What have I gotten myself into? Look at the scars and look at the bruises. Well, yes, doctor, the cape is nice, but wait a second. Look out your window, doc. There it is, the light that shines in the sky, with a symbol of a man. Excuse me, doc. This is my wife. Hello, honey. Yes, dear, I am. Well, yes, dear, I know you did. Okay, dear, I understand. Doc, I have to go home.
All right, Michael, thank you for that. Let's find out what the judges thought of that performance, okay? Barry.
Michael, first of all, I have to say that's the scariest cape I've ever seen in my life. It looks like
You're a superhero who maybe put his cape in the dryer. Just a thought. Michael, don't put the person that you're speaking to down low, because what happens is we lose that pretty face of yours. And for a lot of this monologue, you did the monologue to the mushrooms on the floor rather than out to the audience and to us. So we didn't get to see you. And there's a lot of things in this monologue that are ideas that you have to make come to fruition. And what happened with you today was that you rushed into the idea rather than taking the moment. For example, out the window, the sign, for the man. And when you got to your parents, I wanted to see you take your time, and I wanted you to really drop into that. See, I thought that there were really moments that had you, really taken your time and had you really dropped in, would have been really beautiful. And I think, listen, this is a pressurized situation, so you rushed through it a little bit. Take your time, do the work, trust the work. And, again, I think that you have to understand that, and this is what a lot of actors don't understand, acting is an art, and we have to create. Use that space to really create. The words are so secondary. They're a roadmap that takes us from here to there. But what we do within those words, what we do within the beginning and the end is what's important. So really reach out there, and I want you to draw and paint some pictures for me. Really create.
Very philosophical there.
Thank you.
Yes. Yes. First of all, I think you have a lot of charm, and there were some nice moments in there that really were quite funny. That said, I felt like this is a man who's really not quite with it. Let's be honest here. He's first of all, he's talking to his shrink, and he's out there thinking he's a superhero, which is a little off. So I wanted to see more of that, that crazy, rather than just it being like this idea of crazy. I felt like there wasn't enough emotional weight to, your character came to this because of a death, of your parents, and you're struggling with this. So I wanted to see more of that struggle rather than just sort of the manufactured ideas of that struggle. Also, the doctor, I felt like, he was down here at one point, then he was up here. At times you were talking to us, so I wanted you to have a more clear through line with that, as well as about where he was specifically. Thank you.
Yeah, Michael, first thing I'd like to say, you are very courageous. You are a bold actor. And, I appreciate that. Kind of unlike Barry, I do kind of like the cape. I do.
I like the cape too. Yeah.
Yeah, lovely. Despite it looks like you stole it from a 3-year-old boy, but
maybe 4.
Yeah, maybe 4.5. But still, I think it adds in. All jokes aside, one thing I can really respect is an actor that is daring and willing to make choices and bold decisions. And a lot of times you see actors afraid to take that step. So, above all, I respect the fact that you're bold. Now, with that being said, with some of the character and some of the, I guess through some of the insanity of it, I kind of lost you at times. And I don't know if that was a transition thing or if it was just that you were, I guess the dimensions of it were a little contrasting at times, but to say the least, I thought it was entertaining. I thought it was exciting, but I would just say kind of like Barry said, you have your path, and your route is your path. You're in a car and you drive the path, whatever the heck he said. It sounded a lot better when he said it, but I would say the same thing. You can be as colorful as you want, and I know that you're a bold person. I know you're courageous, so go there. Take those choices. Matter of fact, have the cape, wear a Speedo, a red Speedo next time,
Oh, boy.
with tights on, take it there, all right? I want to see it. Get some leather boots, all right?
You can stop there.
All right, I'll stop.
Thank you.
Well, thank you, Michael. Appreciate it. Thank you so much. All right, folks. What we're going to do right now is while we're tallying up the scores, we're going to bring all of the contestants back out here while the scores are being tallied. We're going to get some last-minute thoughts from the judges on that one. All the contestants, please come around. And then Barry, please.
First of all, I thought it was brave that all of you basically wrote your own pieces today, which was great.
Yes.
And when writing your own pieces, and it's something that Kevin said, I think you can't confuse being bold in the writing with being bold in the acting. And I think that all of you had really wonderful moments in your writing, so I want to see you match those in your acting. And to tell you the truth, there were moments that each of you had that did match those. So really go for it. Don't be brave. Be strong.
Yes, and also to that, just owning your piece, because it is yours. So you really can, if you are going up on your lines or whatever, there's really no danger in rewriting it right then and there, because you wrote it.
I pretty much agree with the both of them. I think it's admirable that all four of you guys, not just acted the pieces, but created them. Part of art and being an artist is creating that. So I totally dig that. And just continue to try to find those pieces or those parts within your monologue where you can really bring it to life. Those signature moments, that stand out, because you guys all got it, and I really appreciated watching all four of you guys. Keep pushing, keep going forward, and boom shakalaka.
Thank you.
Definitely boom shakalaka.
Yeah,
Boom chaka.
that sums it up.
Shakalaka hi, shaka hi ni ho.
Shaka
Thank
ho.
you.
Good work, guys.
All right, thank you, folks. Thank you. And now, our first runner-up is Chrissy Carpenter. Chrissy.
Woo!
And our winner for tonight with the monologue title Foreclosed, Suzanne Breitenbach. Thank you all very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So we've come to the end of our show. I want to thank you all for tuning in, and I want to ask you all to tune in the next time. And thank you, and we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Bye, everybody.